Hey everyone, welcome again. This is day 7. We are halfway there in our video series on handling coronavirus anxiety. This is Sindhu from Aware Mental Health. The last 6 days, all we have done is sort of speak about just feelings and body sensations. Therapists are frequently displayed in movie and TV series as people who are just asking this question, how does that make you feel? There's a very popular joke where the client is telling the therapist, Doc, all you ever do is just ask about my feelings. And the therapist says, Oh, and how does that make you feel? So let's not overdo it. Therapists can be known to overdo this feelings thing, so I don't want to end up overdoing it. I'll talk about something else that is very relevant to the corona crisis today. I did get a few messages from people wanting to know more about what do we do about these difficult thoughts that come up. Um, I know that I haven't yet gone to talking about thoughts, but I will at some point in our video series. Maybe in the next 2 videos, I will talk about what do we do about those self-limiting, difficult, self-loathing thoughts that come up quite often, especially surrounding this uncertain crisis that we are in right now. People who are close to me, they know that I am a big board game enthusiast. I have a huge collection of them. I love playing them all the time. And a lot of these board games have cards dealt to the player, just like card games. The thing about these card games is you cannot choose which cards you're dealt with. You only pick up the cards that are given to you, that comes up out of shuffling, random shuffling, and you play the best possible game with the kind of cards you have in your hand. And I think that's exactly the kind of situation that we are in right now. We didn't ask for this. I, for one, know that I did not want this at all. I had a traveling plan this summer. I had many other things to do on my to-do list this summer. Nothing is getting done. Everything is slowing down. But how can we play the best game possible with the kind of situation that we are in right now is where I wanted to talk about. Before we get to that point itself, I want to touch upon this concept called what is in my control and what is not in my control. I just put up an Instagram post illustrating this. It's from one of my trainers, Dr. Russ Harris. He's amazing. The list of things I've put, which illustrates what is in my control and what is not in my control, that is a bit generic. In this video, I want to talk about things that are in our control and not in our control specific to the coronavirus crisis. So let me first talk about what are the things that are not in my control. The biggest one is about what will happen in the future. The world economy, whether there are more natural disasters along the way. We don't have control over that. Job retention, we don't know whether our jobs are going to stay or not. Whether we can get the kind of outcomes we want or not. For example, whether the vaccination is going to be invented or not. When is it going to be invented? How quickly are we going to get the vaccination? We don't have control over that. We, in fact, don't even have control over our own thoughts and feelings about this crisis. Don't believe me? Let me quickly do an experiment with you. Do not, at any cost, think about your favorite flavor of ice cream. Don't think about it. Make sure to not think about your favorite flavor of ice cream. Just don't. What happened as I said that? For me, I was already thinking about my favorite flavor of ice cream. The images were coming up. I noticed that I was salivating about thinking about eating it. So that tells us about how little control we have over our inner world. And so even with this crisis, we don't have any control over our thoughts and feelings. Let's now move on to the things that are actually under our control. Being self-compassionate to ourselves in the time of this crisis, like we did yesterday in that video, that is under our control. Doing the best job I can at my work, that is under my control. Reading validated science based news about the coronavirus crisis, that is under our control. What I can do to achieve the kind of future I want, that is under my control. Whether that future is going to come to me or not, that is not under my control. But in this present moment, what can I do to increase my chances to achieve the kind of future I want, that is under my control. Living by my values and aligning my behaviors with what I truly value, that is under my control. So I've covered a bit of an exhaustive list here. I want you back at home to think about this more, and please comment, please send me messages, and feel free to chime in with your thoughts about this. Tomorrow, I'll see you with a new video that extends this concept of control, not in our control, and what we can do about that more effectively. Thanks again. Bye bye.